Hello friends, welcome back to the CSC guy. Here in this lecture we are going to start our web technology series. So this is our first chapter in which we are going to discuss CSS and Bootstrap. So in this video we are going to discuss some important questions and some important points. So the first question, what are semantic elements? So semantic elements are a set of elements that provide meaning to the structure of a web page, making it easier for search engines, screen readers, and other devices to understand the content and layout of the page. These elements are used to define different parts of a web page, such as headers, footers, navigation, main content, and more. Now, why semantic elements are important? Before HTML5, web developers used generic elements like div and span to structure their web pages. While these elements worked, they didn't provide any meaning to the content they contain. This made it difficult for search engines and screen readers to understand the structure and content of the page. Semantic elements in HTML5 solve this problem by providing a way to define the meaning of different parts of a web page. This has several benefits. Improved search engine optimization. Search engines can better understand the structure and content of a web page, which can improve the page's ranking in search results. Second is better accessibility. Screen readers and other assistive technologies can provide a better experience for users with disabilities, as they can understand the structure and content of the page. Next is easier maintenance. Semantic elements make it easier for developers to maintain and update their web pages, as they provide a clear understanding of the page structure and content. Next is improved readability. Semantic elements can improve the readability of a web page, as they provide a clear hierarchy of content and make it easier to scan the page. Next, we are going to discuss some common semantic elements in HTML5. First is header. This defines the header section of a web page or section. Typically contains the logo, navigation, and other header elements. Next is nav tag. It defines a section of navigation links. It can be used for main navigation, breadcrumbs, or other types of navigation. Next is main. It defines the main content section of a web page. It should contain the most important content of the page. Next is section. Section tag defines a self-contained section of related content. It can be used to group together related articles, comments, and other content. Next is article tag. It defines an independent piece of content, such as a blog post, news, article, or comment. Next is aside tag. It defines a piece of content that is related to the main content but not essential to it. It can be used for sidebars, footnotes, or other secondary content. Aside is used for displaying ads. So these are 6: header, nav, main, section, article, aside. These are first 6. Next 6 are footer. Footer tag defines the footer section of a web page or section. It typically contains copyright information, contact details, and other footer elements. Next is figure tag. It defines a figure or image along with a caption. It can be used to add images, diagrams, or other visual content to a web page. Next is fig caption. It defines a caption for a figure or image. Next is time tag. It defines a date or time. It can be used to. Next, mark tag. It defines a highlighted or marked section of text. It can be used to add emphasis or highlight important information. Next is Ruby tag or RT tag and RP tag. It defines Ruby annotations which are used to provide pronunciation guidance for East Asian languages. Next, we will discuss some best practices for using semantic elements. First is we can use semantic elements to define the structure of our web page. We can use it to define the header, navigation, main content and footer sections of our web page. Next is we can use semantic elements to define the different types of content on our web page, such as articles, sections and asides. Next, we can use semantic elements consistently throughout our web page to provide a clear structure and hierarchy of content. Next is we should only use semantic elements where they make sense, and we should avoid using them unnecessarily. Next is we can use accessible rich internet applications attributes to provide additional accessibility information for screen readers and other assistive technologies. Conclusion: semantic elements provide a way to define the meaning and structure of a web page, making it easier for search engines, screen readers, and other devices to understand the content and layout of the page. By using semantic elements consistently and correctly, developers can improve the accessibility, readability, and SEO of their web page. Next, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a popular front-end framework used for building responsive, mobile-first, and visually appealing web applications. It was created by Mark Otto and Jacob Thornton at Twitter in 2009 and is now maintained by a Bootstrap team. What is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a free and open source framework that provides a set of predefined HTML, CSS, and JavaScript components to build web applications quickly and efficiently. It includes a range of features such as responsive design. Bootstrap's responsive design allows web applications to adapt to different screen sizes and devices, ensuring a consistent user experience across various platforms. Next is pre-built components. Bootstrap provides a range of pre-built UI components such as navigation bars, alerts, buttons, forms, and more, which can be easily customized and integrated into web applications. Next is grid system. Bootstrap's grid system is a 12-column layout that allows developers to create responsive and flexible layouts for their web application. Next is JavaScript plugins. Bootstrap includes a range of JavaScript plugins such as model windows, tooltips, and carousels, which can be used to add interactivity to web applications. Next is customizable. Bootstrap is highly customizable, allowing developers to modify the framework to suit their specific needs and branding requirements. Advantages of using Bootstrap. First is faster development. Bootstrap's pre-built components and grid system allow developers to build web applications quickly and efficiently. Next is consistent user experience. Bootstrap's responsive design ensures a consistent user experience across different devices and screen sizes. Next is easy to learn. Bootstrap is easy to learn, even for developers with limited front-end experience. Next is large community. Bootstrap's large and active community means there are many resources available, including documentation, tutorials, and plugins. Next is customizable. Bootstrap is highly customizable, allowing developers to modify the framework to suit their specific needs and branding requirements. Next, we will discuss some disadvantages. Over reliance on framework. Some developers may rely too heavily on Bootstrap, which can limit their ability to create custom solutions. Next is limited customization. While Bootstrap is highly customizable, it can be difficult to make significant changes to the framework. Next is large file size. Bootstrap's CSS and JavaScript files can be large, which can affect page load times. Next is non-suitable for complex application. Bootstrap may not be suitable for complex applications that require a high degree of customization and flexibility. Next, conclusion. Bootstrap is a popular front-end framework that provides a range of features and tools to build responsive, mobile-first, and visually appealing web applications. Its pre-built components, grid system, and JavaScript plugins make it easy to use and customize, while its large community and extensive documentation provide a wealth of resources for developers. While Bootstrap has its disadvantages, it remains a popular choice for many web development projects. Now, let us discuss some features of responsive web design. What is responsive web design? Responsive web design is an approach to web development that focuses on creating websites that provide an optimal viewing experience across a wide range of devices, from desktop computers to mobile phones. Some key features are fluid grids. RWD uses fluid grids that adapt to the screen size and device type. This means that the layout of the website changes based on the screen size, ensuring that the content is always displayed in a way that is easy to read and navigate. Next is flexible images. RWD uses flexible images that scale with the screen size. This means that images are not fixed in size but rather adapt to the screen size, ensuring that they are always displayed in a way that is optimized for the device. Next is media queries. RWD uses media queries to apply different styles based on different screen sizes and devices. Media queries are a way to define different styles for different screen sizes, allowing developers to create a responsive design that adapts to different devices. Next is mobile first approach. RWD often uses a mobile first approach, which means that the design is optimized for small screens first and then scaled up for larger screens. This approach ensures that the most important content is displayed prominently on small screens and that the design is optimized for touch-based interfaces. Next is responsive navigation. RWD often includes responsive navigation, which means that the navigation menu adapts to the screen size and device type. This can include features such as hamburger menus, toggle menus, and other responsive navigation patterns. Next is adaptive typography. RWD often includes adaptive typography, which means that the font size and style adapt to the screen size and device type. This ensures that the text is always easy to read regardless of the device or screen size. Next is responsive layout. RWD includes a responsive layout, which means that the layout of the website adapts to the screen size and device type. This can include features such as rows, columns, and other layout patterns that adapt to the screen size. Next is device agnostic. RWD is device agnostic, which means that it is designed to work on any device regardless of the operating system, browser, or screen size. Next, RWD is future proof, meaning that it is designed to adapt to new devices and screen sizes as they emerge. Next, RWD provides an improved user experience as it ensures that the website is optimized for the device and screen size, making it easier to navigate and use. Increased conversion rates. RWD can increase conversion rates as it provides an optimal user experience regardless of the device or screen size. Better search engine optimization. RWD can improve search engine optimization as it provides a single URL for all devices, making it easier for search engines to crawl and index the website. Reduced maintenance. RWD can reduce maintenance as it eliminates the need for separate websites for different devices and ensures that the website is optimized for all devices. Cost effective. RWD is cost effective as it eliminates the need for separate websites for different devices and ensures that the website is optimized for all devices. Now let us see the list of semantic elements. So here on screen you can see it is the list of semantic elements. It contains header tag, navigation tag, h1 tag to h6 tag, footer, section, article, aside. These are all the semantic elements. Var, time, WBR, these are all the semantic elements. Next we are going to discuss the core elements of a web browser. They are user interface, UI. Next is browser engine. It is a rendering machine. Next is JavaScript engine. Next, networking component, storage component, security component, and plugins or extensions. These are all the core components of a web browser. Now let us explain the syntactical structure of a CSS rule. The syntactical structure of a CSS rule is selector, flower brackets, property, colon, value, semicolon, close flower brackets, where selector targets HTML elements, property specifies the style attribute, and value assigns the attribute's value. Next, let us define viewport. The viewport is the visible area of a web page within a web browser window, determining how component is scaled and laid out in response to different screen sizes and devices. Next, let us list some text related CSS properties. They are text align. We can align text. Next is text decoration. Next is text indent. In text indent, whenever we use it in a paragraph, the paragraph is indented from the starting. Next is text overflow. Next is text shadow. Next is text transform, letter spacing, word spacing, font family, font size, font style, font variant, and font weight.